Hello, my brush lads, lasses, and everybody in between. My name is Tyler, and I hope you are having a wonderful morning, noon, or night, depending on when you see this video. Very excited for the deck tech that I am bringing you today. It is one of my favorite color combinations, and it is one of my favorite play styles. We're going to be looking at Blim, Comedic Genius. But before we get on to things, just a reminder that if you like what we do here, give us a like, give us a sub, leave us a comment. What is your favorite card to give to somebody else that, because you don't want to play it, but you want somebody else to? Is it in black and red? Let me know. Maybe I'll add it to this deck. Because, spoiler alert, I don't want to play this deck. I want you to play this deck. Blim Comedic Genius is a 4/3 flying legendary imp for 2 black-red. He has, whenever Blim Comedic Genius deals combat damage to a player, that player gains control of target permanent you control. Then, each player loses life and discards cards equal to the number of permanents they control but don't own. The name of the game is simple. I'm going to play bad stuff, and then using Blim, I'm going to play a funny haha, and I'm going to hit you and then give you that stuff, and then what happens from there is your own prerogative. As we've been doing with these shorter Commander deck tech videos, we won't be covering every card in the deck, but we will be covering the 3 key strategies in this deck. Those being creatures to give our opponents, non-creatures to give our opponents, and ways to give those creatures and non-creatures to our opponents. Let's start with the creatures. If we look back at the early days of Magic, there is no shortage of bad, overcosted creatures that, for the time being, you just kind of played because you didn't really have any better option for beat sticks. For example, Cosmic Horror. 3 black for a 7/7 first striker. Hey, in black, that's good. However, you also need to pay 3 and triple black or destroy Cosmic Horror on your upkeep. And if you destroy Cosmic Horror in this way, then it deals 7 damage to you. So, we give it to our opponent. What are they going to do? Are they going to keep sinking all of their mana into keeping this 7/7 first striker around? Or can they not play black, and in which case we're just going to hit them for 7, which is not an insignificant amount of damage. Demonic Taskmaster is an undercosted 4/3 for 3 flying demon that makes the owner sacrifice a creature other than the Taskmaster on each of their upkeeps. Grid Monitor just makes it so that its owner can't play creature spells. And Abyssal Persecutor is real funny because it is a 6/6 flying trampler for 4 who makes it so you can't win and your opponents can't lose. Give that to an opponent. Now you've kind of given everybody else a Platinum Angel because now they no longer can lose and the one with the Persecutor can't win. Do with that knowledge what you will. As for non-creature permanents we would like to give our opponent, a big thing that we see are almost any card that has Lich in its name. Lich's Tomb is an artifact that makes it so we don't lose the game for having 0 or less life. But whenever we lose a life, we have to sacrifice a permanent for each 1 life loss. So we'll just give that to somebody else and make them sack their own board. Nefarious Lich is an enchantment for quad black that says if you would be dealt damage, remove that many cards in your graveyard from the game instead. And if you can't, you lose. If you would gain life, you draw that many cards. And when it leaves play, you lose the game. So, give that to an opponent. See how they respond. In a similar vein, we have Lich's Mastery. 3 triple black for a legendary enchantment with hexproof that says you can't lose the game. And whenever you gain life, you draw that many cards. But whenever you lose life, for each 1 life you lost, you have to exile a permanent you control or a card from your hand or graveyard. And then when Lich's Mastery leaves the battlefield, which it will eventually have to, because ideally they'll have to exile it at some point, they will lose the game. And my favorite one is Demonic Pact. 2 black for an enchantment that has 4 options that can each be chosen once. On your upkeep, you either have it deal 4 damage to target creature or player and you gain 4 life. Target opponent discards 2 cards, you draw 2 cards, or you lose the game. A fun interaction with this card is so long as it is not exiled and returning, just changing control, if you give it to someone else, what you have already chosen cannot be rechosen because the game does not see it as a new game object. So ideally, you keep it around, you get the 3 good options, and then you give it to someone else, and their only option is lose the game. It's a choice, Andrew. Now, usually when playing a game of Magic the Gathering, you like to use your own cards. You don't like to give them to your opponent. Well, aside from Blim, we do have some means of giving this stuff to our opponents. Not a ton, but we have a few. Harmless offering is cut and dry, 2 in a red, sorcery. Target opponent gains control of target permanent you control. Real easy, give them something. Bizarre Trader is a 1/1 goblin for 1 in a red that tap, target player gains control of target artifact, creature, or land you control. While not being able to hand out the enchantments, which I am totally not just noticing right now while recording this, it can get some of those problematic creatures onto our opponent's side of the board. So Blim can make them discard and give them more damage, and it's just a real fun time. Make your opponents play the bad deck that you built. Be sure to check down in the description below for the full deck list for Blim Comedic Genius, but for now, that's all I've got. Let me know down in the comment section below what cards you like that are very, very bad. I'm always keeping an eye out for new toys. Anyway, y'all, I've been Tyler, and if you like what we do here, give us a like, give us a comment, leave us a sub, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace!